Hey, easy. How you doing? Fine. Good to meet you. Yes. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Nice to meet you. Yes, sir. Bless it. So we do have a baggage. Very. What's the what is the nearest?
Знаете как?
Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Where's Bunny?
Rabbit. Олени как?
Bambi.
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 Yeti.
Really? Yo, video.
Say yo, video, no cats run solo, so we're walking in the slow, and you know I got the flow, yeah. Watch out the car, good. Take a break, watch it there, before the car ain't got no stay. When I said, when I come, you know I rap it like a cake, yeah. When I come, you know when,
Yeah. So good, welcome to So Good.
Tribute so good.
Развлекательного комплекса «Аквилон». У нас фестиваль, посвященный дню рождения Боба Марли, 10 февраля. Сегодня у нас гости из-за рубежа: Великобритания, Египет, гости из столицы Урала, Екатеринбурга. Сегодня у нас большой интернациональный фестиваль. Мы, портал Urban Stream, для вас подготовили эксклюзивное интервью с нашими специальными гостями. Вот, сейчас я попрошу их представиться. So guys, hello guys. Добрый день, друзья. Please introduce yourself for our people here in Surgut. What is your name and how can you describe yourself? Just like, you know, a little story.
Hello, yeah, greetings, my name is Solo Banton, and I am a musical artist. Thank you, thanks.
Greetings to the people of Surgut. Very nice to be here. Our first visit as Dubchasm to Russia. And I'm Strider out of Dubchasm.
I'm Digistep out of Dubchasm. I'm a musician, producer, saxophonist, and we're really pleased to be here with Solo and Surgut. We love Surgut, not
Yes.
true guys? We love Surgut and we want to come back again soon.
Surgut.
Surgut.
Warrior style and fashion in a dance. And so we drop it, sing. Go. So we go. Go.
приехали из Великобритании, соло Banton из Лондона, Сэм и Бен, представители группы Dubcasm из Бристоля. Ну, города находятся рядом, Бристоль и Лондон, вот, поэтому им несложно собираться вместе, и очень часто они выступают вместе. Вот, я сейчас хочу у них вот спросить тоже об этом, то есть насколько им комфортно быть вместе, потому что Dubcasm как музыкальный проект часто приглашает и других тоже певцов петь вместе с ними. So, guys, you often play together. So you as a Dubcasm project can invite one artist, another artist, or some other artist. But you more often you play together with solo. Why? Maybe you friends?
So tempting. Yeah. Okay, the reason we like to perform with Solo Banton is A, we really rate him as an artist. He's an excellent artist. We really love his lyrical content, his messages, because Solo is an artist. Solo Banton. Banton means full of lyrics. So Solo's got so many lyrics, and they're very contemporary, and they're very relevant to the people of this day and age, and the things that are happening currently in the world, and we really relate to that and love that vibe. And also it's a real added bonus that we really get on well with Solo Banton, and Solo is like a brother to us. He's family. I class Solo as family, so it's a real pleasure to do these shows away with Solo. We're very pleased to be here.
Yeah, cool. We also love when you perform together. We saw a lot of videos. Today we hope to see it live. It will be a big pleasure for us, big happiness to see you live together with Solo. Я сказал, что мы видели очень много видео, когда Dubcasm вместе с Solo выступали вместе на различных фестивалях, но сегодня мы увидим это живьем на нашем фестивале, и вы тоже, наши дорогие зрители, увидите это. Вот, и это, конечно же, большое счастье.
And then from London, so when we come one problem, settle on the radio and foundation. Yes, one of the solo on the mic hotel, in on the mic shake one, mic shake two, solo Montana shake the microphone, in on the mic shake one, mic shake two. Did you step off? On sax.
One more question about Bristol music history. Bristol known as a motherland of UK reggae, UK jungle, trip hop music. So please tell a little how did you start your music life, and what influence did you have? What legendary musicians you are now connected with? You are work together, and maybe some interesting story about, maybe some interesting facts from Bristol music history. It's a question to Dubcasm.
Well, Bristol is where Digistep and I grew up. So growing up in our hometown, it was in the 90s. We were teenagers during the 90s, and so it would have been very difficult to not be influenced musically, because there was so many great things happening in Bristol at that time, with groups like Massive Attack, Portishead, and Tricky stemming out of Massive Attack, and also stemming further on to groups like Represent with Ronnie Size and the Full Cycle crew, and now even currently with big dubstep acts such as Pinch and Joker, RSD, and of course originally Smith and Mighty from even before the Massive Attack days, you know. So there's been many names and greats, and in the 90s these were very, some of these names were, Bristol was blowing up, and I remember my cousins from London thinking it was very cool that I came from Bristol. So Bristol was really on the map at that point in time. And I think some of the reasons for that is because an area called St. Paul's in Bristol is populated by people that are descended from the Caribbean. And people came over to England and to places like Bristol and settled there and brought with them music, reggae music in particular, and sound system culture. And that filtered into the city and influenced such people as Massive Attack and so on that we mentioned. And so that's one of the reasons why Bristol has that reggae heartbeat. And as Dubcasm, Digi and I were influenced by what was going on around us, but also by what was happening in terms of reggae sound system culture through the likes of Jazz Shaka, who hailed from London.
Speaking of Jazz Shaka, he was definitely a massive influence on us. And on the subject of St. Paul's, that was where the first Jazz Shaka dance that Strider and I went to took place in 1993, and Strider and I were about 15 at the time, and we went along. It was the first time ever, and we were really blown away by the vibe, seeing Shaka setting up the sound system, and I noticed things like the glass valves in his amplifiers, and all of this was just an amazing experience that influenced us for years afterwards. So people like Shaka, who were carrying on the roots music in that era, were a big influence and were responsible for a lot of the longevity of the roots and the reggae scene in Bristol and UK wide.
Thank you. And my next question to Mr. Solo Banton. I know that your music life has started a long time ago, as you started at, as far as I know, together with your brother, yeah, at sound system, family sound system, yeah, and then you started to produce musicians, and you didn't perform as yourself on the scene, yeah? You were somewhere beside in the studio. Why you decided to return to the scene? Maybe because everyone asked you, oh, solo, why you in the studio? Why you not on the scene? So and also I wanted to know how did you meet with guys with Dubcasm? It's interesting how you became friends. It's very interesting. Please tell us.
You are exactly correct on how I started in business with my big brother sound system, Charmer International. I was 11, 12 years old at this time, you know. And then yes, I went into producing and stuff like that. I was never really interested in being an artist and being at the front of the stage, you know. For me, music is everything, you know. So I just like to hear music. Even when I come to a show now, after I come off stage, I don't want to leave. I want to listen to the music, you know. The reason why I am now is just like what you said, because people asked me to. It wasn't because I wanted to. People said you should, yeah. and I recorded and Jared's blessed it, you know, and it's gone well, you know. So we give thanks for that. How I met Dubcasm was, I'm sure you know Strider has the radio show, The Sufferer's Choice, you know, and he invited Chris Chemist from Reality Shop Records to go onto the show to do an interview, and Chris couldn't make it, so Chris asked me if I would go instead and play some music and talk to Strider. So I went instead, and that's how I first met Strider, you know, and we just hit it off straight away, you know. We had a good time. Yeah, we liked each other straight away. We could tell that we were both the same, like-minded, you know. And from there we kept contact and just started speaking, and it just grew. Our friendship grew first. It was which is really nice as well, you know. So that's why when you see us, you know, in the restaurant and stuff, we make a lot of jokes, so we laugh at that, you know, because it was friendship first and then music after, you know. So it's definitely a friendship more than you see than just a music partnership, you know.
Okay.
To a music addict, So I'm an addict. I'm a music addict. So I'm an addict. I'm a music addict. I'm a survey in a lottery. From a technology, from what I want to. I'm a survey in a lottery. I'm a technology.
All of you traveling a lot, the world, across the world. So what most, maybe it's you know, usual question, but it's interesting. What did you like the most? What place, what event impressed you so much? Maybe it was a festival or some party. So maybe each of you will say what event was the best for you in your life.
For me, what, as I was playing together or individually? Just individually.
What bands have you been to?
Yeah, individually maybe your impression.
You know, it's really hard to single out one because I'm just grateful. You know, I just give thanks that somebody would invite me to come somewhere and do that, you know. So I'm just grateful for them all, really. It's hard to single out one. Yeah, there's been some special places, you know. Siberia is definitely turning out to be one of those special places. I'm having a wonderful time here. Mexico was wonderful. Japan was wonderful. Sri Lanka was wonderful. So, but I just give thanks for everything, you know what I mean? So it's hard to single out one particular, if I'm honest. It's hard. It's very hard. It's very hard. I like the Marley, you know?
Yes, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, as Solo said, you know, it is difficult because we do many shows, and every show is special to us, really. To come and share the music that we're involved with and have released to people who appreciate it the way we do means the world to us. That's why we do what we're doing, really, to be able to share it. Because when you're really into music, there's nothing worse than not having anybody to share it with, you know. It really empowers the whole thing when there's other people involved. So we give thanks for all shows. Particular favourites maybe for me personally, a real landmark show was one we did in Bristol, which was the launch party for our album Transform I. And it was such a lot of hard work over many years from 2 different countries, with Digistep living in Brazil and me being in Bristol. It really kind of all came together at the launch party, and it marked a real achievement for us, so we loved that show.
Thank you.
Yeah, really carrying on from what Solo said, it's very difficult for you to say a particular thing because everywhere has its own different energy and everything. But for me, what really matters, it's wonderful to travel the world and see the different sites and the different ways of life and culture. That's very, very special. But what means even more are the friends that we make on our journeys. So when you think of that country, you don't just think of the landmarks and the sightseeing. You remember the people that looked after you and the people that you met and left you with a good vibe. So really, for me, that's more valuable than anything else, is the friendships we make and the vibes that we hopefully pass on to people and get from people, that sharing of vibes. So to me, that's the most memorable thing of all. And I have to say, Surgut has been a very special example of that. From the moment we arrived, we came down in the aeroplane and we looked out the window and all you could see was just white everywhere. I was like, where is the ground? And it was just snow everywhere. Even the runway was white. And we got out of the plane and it was like another world, you know. It was an amazing experience. And to be met by people as friendly as you and looked after so well, and you know, real care from the people here is just very, very special, and that's what we'll remember most of all, really. So yeah.
Today our festival dedicated to Mr. Bob Marley, and I cannot not to ask you about what your point of view regarding his personality, his person. Sure, reggae music, it's not only Bob Marley, but how do you feel? What was your first impression when you first heard his song when you were young? And was it something, you know, like some special moment in your life when you, maybe some have impression on your life, music of Bob Marley?
I remember clearly not the first time I heard Bob, but the first time that the power struck me was I was at home, and I can't remember my age, but the Kaya album. You know, if you know the album Kaya, and on the back had the lyrics of every song. You know, and it was the first time that my dad let me play the stereo by myself. Yeah, and I played Kaya of Marley, and I could read the words and sing along. And then there was there was a song called "Satisfy My Soul." You know, and the line that said, "Jah would never give the power to a bald head." For some reason, at this precise moment, the power of the music just struck me. You know. But I just want to go on from what you said. Many people only refer to Bob as reggae music, you know, and what he's done for reggae music, which of course he cannot measure. But I think even more than this, you know, Bob is a uniter of people. He unites people in the free world, free thinking world, you know. We are here because of Bob, you know. Musical aside, we are here, and I've met you because of Bob, you know. And we've been to so many places because of Bob. So I think Bob is a uniter of people, and for this works here, he needs to be applauded as well, and not just great music, you know. But the fact that he could bring so many different people from all over the world together under one thing is the greatest achievement, I think. So I applaud him for this, you know.
Yeah, true.
Kind of said it already. In what you were saying. Yeah, following on from what Solo said, I think Bob Marley is such a great in reggae music, but also, like Solo just said, even further beyond that, you know, with bringing people together, it's great. It's kind of the reason that we're here in Russia now, because we were invited to play at the big reggae show celebrating Bob Marley's birthday, and a year ago we did the same thing when we were invited to the Ukraine and that was also for Bob Marley's birthday. So the fact that these events are still going on all these years after Bob's no longer with us, it just shows, you know, it's testament to how powerful his works were and still are, is that we are all still active within reggae music, you know, and Bob is still flying the banner, really. So we really do give thanks for all that Bob has done for the music and for the people at large.
I also think lyrically he was able to be a songwriter from a Rasta perspective, but also write lyrics that were universal and accepted by all and understood by people, especially considering he was one of the first reggae artists to really go worldwide and visit places that, you know, no reggae singers had been to before. and making an impression, a lasting impression on people, regardless of language and race, and that was one of his big strengths, was spreading it to everybody, not just, you know, a privileged few. And yeah, I think to me the word from his song Soul Rebel is very fitting. He says that I'm a soul adventurer, you know, and I think that term expresses well what we all try to be as musicians when we're doing these travels and spreading the word. So yeah, soul adventurers.
Hi, I'm Solo Banton right now. Yes, Strider out of Dub Chasm. We want to big up Spiziano Gla, Urban Sting, Surgut.
Yes, this is Digistepper out of Dub Chasm. We're just saying from the UK, Spiziano Gla, Urban Sting, Surgut style.
Yo. Yeah, man, me and the man, them call this solo band. Tan, good. Each and every one of Spiziano Gla, Urban Sting, solo band, and say.
Much for this interview, and we are waiting with. We want to see very much your show, and you also will see this show. Вы также увидите скоро это шоу. Мы скоро увидим живьем выступление мощного регги-даб союза Дабказм и соло Бантон в Сургуте на дне рождения Боба Марли. До встречи.